Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my first guide style video on Legends ReWritten, and today we're going to be going over where to find a wind artifact slash magic, how to use it, how good it is, and other things like that. So first, of course, we're going to start with how to find it. And while we're going to where to find it, I want to talk about its most useful feature in my opinion, and that is its flying feature. If you spam spacebar in the air like this, you practically can fly anywhere. It is fantastic, and you can also spam attacks in the air. Anyways, so this right here is where you're gonna find the wind artifact. This is what it looks like. You can get it in both the spring and the fall. I found it first time in the fall and then this time in the spring. My recommendation is if you're trying to get this, just server hop until you find one that is the fall, and then always come to this river spot. If it is there, it'll be glowing white and pretty noticeable, so you know immediately if it spawned in, and then if you don't see it, just leave the server until you get a fall server with it spawned in. Anyways, let's go over what all the moves actually do. So the very first move is the Ronin Gun, probably saying it wrong, but you only need a level 1 magic to use it. And overall, I do not think this move is very good. Essentially, you charge up wind in your hand, and then you punch an enemy and it explodes and they go flying back a little bit and it does okay damage. In my opinion, this is the worst move of the 4 moves from the magic type wind. Overall, it is not good. The animations on it are fantastic like everything else in this game, and it is satisfying to use, but really, I wouldn't recommend you use it much. This is like kind of supposed to be a starter magic since it is so easy to find. So in early levels, it is good. Like I will say it is good early levels, but I would not really rely on the Ronin Gun. It is pretty weak. So the second move from the magic wind is the Razor Wind. Once your magic is level 7, that is when you can use it, and the Razor Wind I think is pretty decent. So essentially all around you, you push wind out, pushing all enemies back. It has a very low cooldown and it does decent damage. The reason why this is much more useful than the first move is because let's say you're using your weapon or your blessing and the enemies are closing in on you and you need to get your health back. You can always use this to push everyone away, and it is pretty spammable, and overall I do not think it's that bad of a move, especially at early levels, and it only requires a level 7 magic, so it is pretty good. However, the Razor Wind and Ronin Gun kind of do opposite things because the Ronin Gun is a melee close thing and the Razor Wind pushes enemies away, so they kind of counteract each other, so do keep that in mind. But the Razor Wind is definitely much better than the Ronin Gun. So the third move you get is level 15. And in my opinion is pretty decent. It is the Wind Blade. So this is basically a very long range attack. Well, you will send out 3, I don't know what to call it, they're like 3 slashes of wind, I guess 3 blades of wind considering its name. Anyways, these have massive range, they do pretty decent damage, and I think this is a great ability for like grinding up your magic level, because you can sit super far away from an enemy and just spam these over and over again and pretty much stay safe as long as you stay at a long range. They do okay damage, they do travel through mobs and hit the mobs behind them, and I do think this is a pretty good skill. See, Wind Blade comboed with Razor Wind does work because the Razor Wind will push all the enemies away from you, and then you can switch over to that Wind Blade move and then just damage them a bunch, and then when they get close again, you Razor Wind, push them away, and then you Wind Blade again. Overall, Wind Blade is definitely one of the better moves for the magic wind. So the final move for wind is for level 30, and it is by far the best move out of the 4, and this is the Wind Shuriken. So the Wind Shuriken, I almost like to call it the bombing run, because essentially, as you guys saw earlier, you can glide with the magic by spamming space in the air. And then the Wind Shuriken is a long range explosive AoE move. So basically, one thing you can do is fly around the air and then just spam Wind Shuriken and Wind Blades under you and just wreck mobs without taking any damage. The Wind Shuriken is fantastic. It does take level 30 to get, so you do have to grind your levels quite a bit, but it does a lot of damage. It looks fantastic. It is so much fun to use, and overall is by far the best move for wind. It is comboable with Wind Blade. It is great with Razor Wind because Razor Wind will knock all your enemies away. Then you pull out the Wind Shuriken to hit them when they're all grouped up. Overall, the Wind Shuriken is definitely the best move from this magic type. It is just so good, and overall, it is super duper fun to use. And again, it is great to do bombing runs with. You just fly over your enemies, spam it underneath you, and you're pretty much good to go. So In my opinion, the best way to use this magic type is to very much so utilize your jumping with it. However, it does sometimes mess up your wall climbing because if you double jump with wind, you glide and do like these steps in the air. However, when you're wall climbing with it, sometimes the game thinks you're trying to do that double air step and it pushes you way off the wall. So do keep that in mind. You can get pretty messed up with that, and it is sometimes very annoying, but yet this does also let you do those bombing run style things. So a great strategy is honestly just flying over any boss, any mob, anything you're struggling with, and spamming wind shurikens and wind blades underneath you. You will not die, you will do a lot of damage, and your magic will go up super fast. However, it is a little bit hard, of course, because you do need to be pressing quite a bit of buttons and staying in the air. Another great strategy with this, in my opinion, would be Razor Wind, Wind Blade, Wind Shuriken. I mean, those are pretty much the only 3 good moves from it. Because the Razor Wind, you know, you push the enemies back, and then you can Wind Blade them when they're coming back to you. When they get close and are close, like, all together, that's when you Wind Shuriken, do a huge amount of damage, then re-push them back with the Razor Wind. All the moves are very, very spammable, and overall, I would say this magic type is okay. Is it good? Not really. There are very much so way better things to go for, but it is a good starting magic because all the magics are pretty low level. You do not need to grind out your magic levels too much to use everything, and honestly the benefactor of that glide is pretty nice. So I would say definitely go for it if you have nothing yet, because it is very easy to find. That is an important thing when it comes to magic. But of course, there is much better magic types out there, and I wouldn't use this for very, very long. I would pretty much just use this magic type until you get another one. Honestly, pretty much anything else is better, but still, it is okay. Anyways, this is going to be a shorter video. That is my overview for the magic type wind. That is also how you find it. Comment down below if you guys would want me to make this kind of video on other types of magics and artifacts, and I definitely would love to make more videos in this game in general. Comment down below what else you want to see, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if this helped you out, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!